This is a great movie. You're not going to regret it.
Time to get serious about movies.
It's your front row seat to Hollywood's best movies here on Cinema at the Cinema.
Hey guys, welcome to another episode of On Cinema at the Cinema, your source for movie expertise and expert opinions. I'm your host, Gregg Turkington. I'm joined here by our special guest, fellow movie buff, Mark Pruksch. Mark, good to see you.
Thank you, and I'm happy to be here.
Kind of a somber occasion in some ways. We received word that our former host of the show, Tim Heidecker, is in jail in San Bernardino County. He was involved with something called the Electric Sun Desert Festival over the weekend. I'm sure anyone who watches the news saw that 18 teenagers, young people, died as a result of a vaping product that he was handing out, and he is in jail along with his accomplice, Dr. Luther San, who, if you've seen the show, you're familiar with, and a lot of charges of manslaughter, murder, and that sort of thing. So I don't think we'll be seeing Tim or Dr. San anytime soon. We will try to get the show back on track. I know a lot of people are grieving the deaths in the desert this weekend, but under the circumstances, I feel like the best thing to do would be to keep moving and review some movies, which is what we've been wanting to do all season.
Yeah, and I'll be honest, I don't think I'm going to miss him too much because he had me working here for just an honorarium, and he said he would, give me some stock or bonds for this place, and I'll be honest, I don't think I was ever going to see him.
Well, this was never a concept that was going to sell. I mean, he's calling it this gold class, world class cinema experience, but if this is the prototype, the chairs are the most uncomfortable things I've ever sat on. I'd rather sit in coach on a bad airline, and then the screen that he has out here as a demonstration is so small.
He kept talking about John Leonard, but I was the one going to the store, and a lot of that stuff was Stouffer's and Banquet. And then he would make me buy this truffle oil flavoring that I would sprinkle over everything, and that stuff started to go rancid after 2 weeks.
Oh, the batch of popcorn was rancid from the beginning.
Yeah, it smelled like cat
2
piss
weeks
back there in the kitchen. A lot of times I was staying in the theater overnight, because I couldn't get out. He had me working so much, and now I don't even, now that that's burnt down, I got a place in Van Nuys with like 4 or 5 other guys who I cannot understand. I don't know where they're from. And so I'm basically giving up acting for this guy, and for what? To work for nothing and reheat food.
And the thing is, you try to have a gourmet experience and you serve that stuff, you're going to be out of business in a day. And he's telling me he's going to open 43 of these things, and it's not even his idea. There's plenty of theaters like this, but they're not run by an insane person.
You don't get diarrhea every time you watch a movie.
Well, and then people who tune in want to get information on movies. We've sort of been the premier source in the United States and worldwide. And over the last few years, and particularly this season, Tim has just been so interested in his world of drug addiction and arson and all these other problems that he has, that he really hasn't let me do my thing, which is to give the expert opinion. I've checked out. I mean, quite frankly, I gave up on this show several weeks ago, as well as the Decker, the other show, because working with him, you're dealing with somebody who's deep into drug addiction and who honestly never knew anything about movies in the first place.
I don't think he watched half of them. And like at the movie theater with the black mold, and I had chest issues from that. He made me go to the bathroom. I couldn't use the bathroom in the theater. I had to go down to either the John's or else the Chevron station, and I had to buy something every time there to be able to use the potty.
I know all about it. Believe me, I never got a penny for this, guys. Anybody that went to the theater knows that the programming was top of the line. And the thing is, I enjoyed doing the movie theater and programming the films and stuff, but I don't enjoy doing all this work, and then he comes in wasted on his vapes and just cleans out the cash register of all the money that I've taken in all week. Tim wouldn't upgrade the equipment, wouldn't spend the money on that. The black mold You know, you can only spray so much Lysol, and then the whole place smells of Lysol. So you need to bring in a professional and get that stuff cleared out, which would mean new carpeting and stuff. And the thing is, we were bringing in enough money, and then he's giving me just shit about the Sully fucking movie because he's out of his mind, vaped out of his fucking mind. I saw Sully the first day it came out, you know, because I talked to you about it later that day and said, this is going to win Oscars. This is a great movie. This is Hanks's best performance since Gump. And then I saw it a second time because I had a sneak preview to it because I have connections from doing what I do, which is sharing movie expertise. And so I went to see it again on actual opening day. So I saw it on the Wednesday before it opened, and then I saw it on the Friday opening day. 2 days later, I'd already seen the movie twice.
I wish you
And
would.
then he's online saying I haven't seen Citizen Kane and Sully and all this shit.
Yeah.
And I'm not the only one that has problems with this guy. Just the abuse and the lack of respect for movies and the lack of respect for the segments that I work so hard on.
Right.
But now I think, you know, I think that we can turn the show around now.
I hope
because
so.
I'm sorry, you know, 158 people are in the hospital in Hesperia and Apple Valley because of this festival. Most of those will live. There are 18 that will not. I mean, they're dead, you know, they're dead. So he's going down, and if he were somehow beat the rap on the 18 murder charges, he's got 158 attempted murder as well to try to beat. And Dr. San, I mean, I've been talking about this guy since day one, that he is absolutely a criminal, absolutely has no medical skill.
He tried treating one of my coughs once. He rubbed kerosene all over my chest. And
Kerosene.
Kerosene. I was
Which
like,
is flammable.
What are you doing?
That guy's brain was scrambled years ago. The thing that makes me mad is this show is supposed to be about movies, and that's what we talk about on this show is movies. And, you know, I don't know, you're so busy serving up that slop that you probably didn't notice how little we're able to talk about the movies this season because of all his melodramas and, you know, this stupid ass transplant crap that, you know, turned into some fucking game show that cuts into the, you know, I was trying to get it so that we had 3 movies reviewed each episode, and then also a look back at one of the bygone stars who's not with us. I tried to talk about Fay Wray, who's one of my favorite actresses. If you haven't seen Queen Bee, that's another movie she's in that's fantastic. It's a great segment, but I mean, I get here, I come in, and then before we start filming, people don't see this. It's not on camera. He's like, we're cutting that segment, we're cutting that segment. And you know, I would get mad about it, but now it's just like, of course you are, you know.
Yeah.
We should cut to right now one of these segments that we're talking about. This is called On Cinema On Location. I think you'll like it. Hollywood, California. Every street has a story, and these are but just a few on Cinema On Location. Hi, it's Gregg Turkington with On Cinema at the cinema. Behind me you can see Paramount Pictures, the filming location of 2001's Vanilla Sky, starring Tom Cruise and Penelope Cruz. This was a popcorn classic from 2001. Back to you, Tim. So that's the segment.
That was great.
And you know, that segment's been one of the most popular things on the show since the beginning, aside from the reviews, the unbiased reviews of new movies. Another thing that really pisses me off was your segment, Golden Age Comedies, which was so popular and such a fun segment where you get to see great current movies, comedies, reviewed by one of the great old comedians, W.C. Fields, who you do a great job.
Thank you.
I mean, any of these old movie characters that you do, you nail because you know the movies. You know Chaplin, you know The Mummy and The Wolfman and all this sort of thing.
Stooges.
And all of them. And that was such a fun segment, and it was a good way to learn about movies and also learn about W.C. Fields. And Tim shit-canned that for no reason.
Yeah.
And that was very popular. In fact, we should just do one now. Fuck him. He's in jail.
Yeah, I would love to. I have my stuff in the car.
Can you roll just one of the, it's just a short On Cinema On Location, and while that's airing, you go get the stuff.
Okay.
Hollywood, California. Every street has a story, and these are but just a few on Cinema On Location. Hey guys,
This is Paramount Studios, where in 1998, Sean Connery and Meg Ryan shot a popcorn classic called Presidio, or The Presidio. This is the filming location of The Presidio. Back to you, Tim.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's your old friend WC with another comedy classic for ya. Today we're talking about Nobody's Baby, starring Gary Oldman and Skeet Ulrich. Comedy ensues when the two ex-cons go on the road, see, and they folly and filly-fally up to the Tapungo Mungo, and they find a baby. Side note, Anthony Quinn's son died in my pond. True story. Check it out.
Great work.
Thank you.
That's a segment we'll be seeing a lot more of, as well as all of our outside segments and 3 movies reviewed per episode, I promise.
Can't wait.
That's what we're going to be doing. And good riddance to Tim and Dr. Sand.
Keep them in jail.
And our prayers are with the 158 hospitalized in Victorville.
Get well soon.
And we'll see you next week with more movie reviews on Cinema at the Cinema. Thank you. That's good. That segment was amazing.
Oh, thanks.
That's what people want.
Tim will never see this, right?
No.